if that's all.
Are you at the school?
Yeah.
I'd like to go into the interview as well.
I'm literally sitting there in my uniform. It says Life Touch on my uniform, and I'm at the school.
All right.
I've never noticed that.
I literally told my manager, "Hey, I got a call from New York. I gotta take this for a little bit. Like I'm doing an interview for my YouTube." Look, I'm literally sitting here editing on my like, look, just fucking chaotic as shit. There's me. I'm taking the memory card out. I'm plugging it into the thing. I gotta do all this shit. I'm sitting in front of a fucking photo set right there.
I appreciate.
There's me in my car.
See how much.
There's me walking back to my
process
car.
Goes into the next one.
Hi there, everyone. Welcome to the $127 podcast, the only podcast that supports Sandra Bullock. We're here on a very special day. You might have remembered a couple of years ago we talked to a group of individuals who made a film called The Ballad of a Gangster from the Grand Theft Auto stuff, the video game. And we had them on. We talked to them about their filmmaking process, and over the past couple of years we've been in contact with them, still. So they came out with a new film called Headstone of Solitude. It is a live action film. It's not Grand Theft Auto. So we're going to find out more about that today. And they're here in studio, sort of, with us, and we're going to talk to them, and we're going to interview them about this film that they made. Like and subscribe, all that bullshit, all the same stuff as usual. And this time especially because now you're supporting independent filmmakers who are up and coming. So if you don't like and subscribe, then you're going to hell. So
Animal will find you.
yeah. Animal will find you in hell. And so that being said, I'm Jeff.
I'm Yule, or I'm not Yule. I'm Anakin. Fuck.
Are you? Apparently I'm Anakin now. Your co-host.
And we're joined by our special guests.
I'm Sid. I directed and acted and wrote the film Headstone of Solitude. Thank you for having me again, guys.
Our pleasure.
I'm BP. I played Groundskeeper Henry.
Nice.
Groundskeeper Henry. Nice. That's a title. That's a good name.
It's like
that's going on the IMDb.
Wait, on IMDb, I actually cut out the Henry part. I just named it the Groundskeeper.
Groundskeeper.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't think anyone would care if his name was Henry.
I had to remember it.
That's. I mean, I enjoy names like that. It's kind of like I always think of like Quentin Tarantino or like these other directors that use like these like the names of what they are. Like I wrote a script and I put Box Office Bill, was one of the characters' names, and I just loved reading it. Like
pretty good.
Box Office Bill, because he works in the box office and his name is Bill. Anyways, beautiful. So I guess we're gonna kick it off with the first. We watched the film. We just finished watching it about like 20 minutes ago, so we got a lot of thoughts in our head.
I hope
a lot of
thoughts.
feelings.
Okay.
Well, you'll find out. We'll see.
All right.
Don't get too carried away now.
Okay.
You're on 127.
Yeah, you're on 127, buddy.
Getting flashbacks to the first one.
Right. And I guess I'm going to kick it off with this question here is, are you still editing on an iPhone?
I am not still editing on an iPhone.
Thank God.
I hope that wasn't a concern. I currently I'm editing on Adobe Premiere Pro. I've been getting a lot of experience with that. Even with the Lost Machinima project that I had showed you guys last year, that was all on Premiere Pro. I've just been really getting used to that. For the next live-action Sid Cinematics production, I would definitely like to switch over to DaVinci Resolve. Nice. But yeah, as of now, I've been using a lot of Premiere Pro.
Okay.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it looked great. The film
Thank you.
just was really stunning, and I was like, if these fuckers come on and tell me that they're still editing on an iPhone, like I need to go get that iPhone. Like,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
so are you? What are you? Oh, go ahead.
No, that was going to be my question. Was jumping off of that. What are you guys shooting with now, and especially like for the lighting and the shots? Because like there were so many times we're watching the movie, like fuck, that's a good shot. Fuck, that's a great shot.
Thank
How
you
did they
so
do the
much.
lighting in these? Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
yeah.
I shoot on a Canon M50 Mark II, which honestly thank you. I've always thought of switching over eventually to Sony for video at least. I like to dabble in a lot of photography as well, so I think Canon is a great middle ground. No, I'm not sponsored by Canon, so no one has to like feel obligated to buy their products, but I definitely enjoy the camera. I've had it for about a year now. Honestly, in terms of lighting, really just the overall visual aesthetic, I would say that a lot of that was done within Premiere Pro itself. I mean, I have two like I guess lights for technical filming purposes. Yeah, no, they were pretty simple technical filming lights. And so, a lot of that was really manipulated in Premiere Pro and messing with exposure and contrast. Um, but yeah, I mean, really, it was a rather simple process, technically speaking. Two lights, my Canon tripod, and that was it.
Dang,
Yeah.
that's really impressive for what came out
Thank
of
you.
it, and also like the color grading too. I'm sure that was
Yeah,
after that all. Really worked.
that was definitely a lot of fun, the color grading.
Nice.
Originally, it was going to be in just regular black and white, but I think going back to that era of film, like early 1900s horror, silent films, et cetera, it wasn't just black and white. It was definitely there were certain tints to it, and so we definitely took a lot of influence from that as well visually.
What's he eating there?
I I feel like it's some kind of cheese. I don't know. This shot is making me so uncomfortable.
I think that's the point.
Oh, it's doing a good job, but yeah.
Shit looks like biscuits and gravy.
Mashed
Oh, I think you're-
potatoes?
No, I think he's right. I think it is biscuits and gravy.
All right, that's a question.
What were you eating at this timestamp?
You were saying something about the food. That
Oh.
first shot with the food was just
Yeah. I wanted like that actually leads into that question. Was like, were the eating shots intentional? Because like for me, I don't know what it is, but like food in movies either goes like really good or really bad. I guess it really depends on the tone that the movie's trying to set. And like we saw the first one, we're like, what is he eating? These biscuits and sausage and like he's eating
Very
bread and like
good.
these close up shots that just really it just made me so uncomfortable. It was the perfect tension that was set with those shots. But
It's
yeah,
made to look like slop, but it's just
Yes.
oatmeal. Just
Yeah,
oatmeal and
it
bread.
it was just oatmeal.
It was very
I said it was
warm.
biscuits and gravy.
No, it was very warm oatmeal that BP unfortunately had to eat for a few different
Yeah,
takes.
I got
So,
force fed in for like 2 hours.
yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah,
True soldier right there.
I've heard that a few times now. I mean, even when the film was still in post production, and I was showing my girlfriend that specific scene, she started gagging at the sound effects of him swirling around the oatmeal. Like,
Yeah,
I'm glad it had that effect on you guys. That was definitely intentional.
you nailed it.
Thank
Too damn
you.
well.
Thank you. And then regarding the scene that takes place in that sort of nightmare sequence with my character eating the bread in the bathtub, I think that was just a very a Lynchian moment within my head. But I also thought it suggested a little bit of cannibalism as well, which is something we can delve a little deeper into a little bit later. But I think within that nightmare sequence of us kind of seeing these reflections of Williams and his dark personas and his dark thoughts, I thought that him eating something could signify something, relating to cannibalism and, what could have happened to his wife. Or people could have just interpreted it as my character being odd. I think, really, regarding the entire film, I left a lot up for interpretation, and I hope to have achieved something to where people can rewatch it and come up with different theories and different thoughts on it.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really
Yeah,
cool. Because
thank you.
I think like where my brain was going was like I think he had something to do with her death, and he's just in denial.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a
Oh.
lot of different theories. They're all valid.
Yeah, and then like just Jeff was like, "Who fucking eats plain bread?" Like we were sitting here arguing for like 5 minutes.
I think that in itself is quite scary. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, if it's like like a
Psychopaths.
It was
Hawaiian king
disgusting.
roll or something, it's fine. It's
Yeah.
just plain bread. But like this is what is it, just a piece of white bread or a piece of wheat? Like, is it toasted?
It was
told
wheat
you.
bread, and I cannot stand wheat bread. I hate wheat bread, but unfortunately, that was the only sliced bread I had in my house. So, and to make it worse, I was covered in blood, which I don't know why I chose to do that, considering it's in black and white, so you couldn't really see the blood. But I was covered in fake blood, and so as I was eating, the fake blood was getting drenched
Oh.
in the bread, and it was just
Oh.
it was getting
man.
Ugh.
gross.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
I know that taste, buddy. I know
Yeah.
that taste. Believe me. It's not fun.
I'll swing you guys a behind the scenes photo of that scene specifically. It was quite a scene.
Is this just bread?
Yeah. Plain bread.
Just
You ever did that as a kid?
Just eats bread.
I did that. Nobody.
Just plain. Just
Yeah, just
slice
grab
of
a
bread.
slice of bread. Not much of
Yeah,
it.
I used to do that when I had no food in the house.
Okay, that
I was
got dark.
hungry. I used
Yeah,
to
it's
do
like
that when my parents starved me as punishment for getting bad grades.
I'd scurry around on the floor, really
Yeah.
close to the ground, and
like a fucking rat.
chew chew into the cupboard. Where did he shoot this?
It's a good
It's a
question.
creepy fucking building.
Yeah, so speaking of like things in your house, I guess did you shoot this in your house?
Technically yes, but I also I don't live like it was in the basement, so don't worry, like I don't live
Okay.
in that part of the house. Yeah, like I'm not
Okay.
living in like a slum. But it is my basement and is quite creepy down there.
Yeah, we noticed that in the film.
The thing with the walls, like the way that I guess that the paint or whatever is on the walls,
Yeah.
because you could see the cracks and stuff, and I was like, where
Yeah.
the fuck? What kind of abandoned building did they film this in? Because
No,
they
that was
nailed
in
this
my
shit. Like
basement.
whatever.
Thank you.
I was
Thank you.
like, man, that's that. Yeah. So
Yeah, it was a
Got
great
it.
set choice. I really
you.
enjoyed that.
Thank you.
and
Yeah,
it helped with the era of the film too. Like I felt
Of
like
course,
it
absolutely.
put you in that area. So
Yeah, I mean, my house is naturally like older, even the upstairs. So I mean, looking downstairs, I've always been a little creeped out down there, and I just always thought that was like a good space for some sort of a horror film, I guess. And finally, when I'd come up with this concept, I was like, I think I know the perfect spot. And all I had to do was take a few steps downstairs.
So from crime machinimas to psych horror, what was the shift there? I know that, like you said, you had
Yeah.
one more project, but was there anything before this that kind of pushed you into horror, or did you just have this idea off rip? I guess it's
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I've always really been a crime person. I mean, whether it's television programming, some of my favorite shows are basically all crime related. My favorite films are all crime related. I mean, and my upcoming film and set to be released, likely spring of 24, that's going to be a crime film.
nice.
So regarding that question, though, I would say, I had first seen the film Banshees of Inisherin, which has nothing to do with the horror genre, but I just loved the setting of that film and the overall aesthetic, and so I had thought to myself, what if a more disturbing film was set within that time period, and that was more of a loose concept in my head, and then I started getting into a bit of a dark place. It was winter time, and I was just kind of writing, and I was reading a lot of Edgar Allan Poe, and so I was also getting a lot into David Lynch, and so I started kind of weaving so many different elements together, and then I finally put pen to paper and started writing the script for Headstone of Solitude, based off just so many different influences. So some Edgar Allan Poe in there, some David Lynch in there, some Stanley Kubrick. Yeah, just a lot of different influences weaved in.
Nice. Okay,
So,
cool.
so
just-
you mentioned Banshees of Inisherin.
Yes.
Is that where you also got the idea for the Irish accents that I was
Um,
picking up?
Yeah, I think it was definitely loosely like around my head. Like I said, I think just that film in general is just such a masterpiece of a film, and I was like, wow, just the overall aesthetic of this film is beautiful. You know, imagine if something disturbing was set there. Um, I also think accents are very fun, and specifically Irish accents, they're very fun to do. I thought it would be more unique. You know, I think that there are ways to grab an audience, and I think one of those ways is by kind of distinguishing yourself as an actor. You know, your performance, and how can we do that is by changing who we are. You know, so I really tried going into a dark place, and you know, obviously we threw on the accents and. You know, just overall, the performance I tried to give was just that of trying to throw people off their balance, you know? So yeah, that
Yeah.
definitely ties into the accent a lot. They go hand in hand.
I mean, obviously, you guys went from machinimas to live actions now, and I was kind of surprised, but I was also a little like happy because like I remember you guys in the previous interview that we did, you guys
Yeah.
said that you didn't have any plans to do live action yet, like, um,
A
and when
lot
you
has
said
changed.
live action, I was like, oh hell yeah, let's see what these guys can do
Yeah,
outside of the video game. Like, I was really interested,
absolutely.
and
Yeah.
so did you guys like? Were there things that might have been harder in live action as opposed to machinimas? Like, did you find more difficulties doing the live action stuff that as opposed to like machinimas would have been easier? Like, what were the
Yeah.
big differences that you found? Like the pros and cons of each, I
hmm
guess.
I think BP can touch on more of the acting aspect of it. For me, regarding the technical aspect, I would say comparative to Ballad of a Gangster, which was on a console, it was edited on an iPhone. I mean, you guys know that story. It was much easier to film a live action project and work on that.
Oh, yeah.
For our crime film that we were working on last year, the Machinima, honestly, that was also a bit difficult process. I mean, I think it looked fantastic. I mean, it was filmed in a very certain way, which I thought was quite attractive to even just general audiences outside of the machinima world. But even that process was still difficult. I think it's very time consuming and very frustrating to work on machinimas and just stuff that you can't physically touch. That's not to say you can't get good results, obviously. I just think that it's definitely a much more difficult process, and it's a very frustrating process at that. I think BP, you know, we had a lot of conversations filming Headstone regarding like the differences in voice acting and live action acting, and I feel like you can touch on that a little bit, BP, on how you
Yeah.
felt.
It's a big leap from sitting in my bedroom on a PlayStation microphone. It's
In front
very
of the
very
camera.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah. Big leap.
I never
But
personally saw myself acting in front of a camera. I mean, I've never been one to like act. I never was like into theater or anything. I kind of stayed away from that. But really, I think the only way I could see this film having real quality to it was making the right casting choice for the main character Williams. And you know, I thought to myself like maybe I should just do that. And I just kind of jumped right in there, kind of just grabbed it by the horns.
Is that really you I'm hearing right now? Or have I gone mad?
Man, that facial acting is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I could hear you.
Well, when we were watching it, Anakin, I remember you said at a certain point that your facial movements were.
Oh yeah.
What scene was that, Anakin? That was.
Um. Fuck,
I think that's
I
when
can't.
that's when
He
he
was
was
like,
hearing the voice, right?
yeah, okay. I think
He was looking at the
hearing the voice
radio.
from the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought, man, the facial acting on that
Thank
scene
you.
was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Top
I
notch.
appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah.
I've never taken any sort of like acting class or anything. I've just I really just tried bringing myself to a place. And I definitely don't mean to come off as the type of actor. Honestly, I wouldn't even go as far to call myself an actor. But I wouldn't call myself someone who would go to places beyond than what they should. However, I think for this role, you know, I couldn't go in there with regular thoughts per se. You know, I really, considering I wrote it, it was a lot easier for me to bring myself down to a level where I could be mentally fatigued. You know, I could be mentally
Yeah.
disturbed in a way.
I wanted to I guess expand on that because
Yeah.
how long have you and BP been working together? It just really seemed like the chemistry between you guys in the film was kind of, I guess, evident in a way, like
Thank
through the
you.
writing and then also the way that the characters interact with each other. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Um,
seeing
We've
that
known each
translate.
other for a very long time.
Yeah, about
Okay.
about a decade now.
Yeah.
So,
Dang.
you know, and I mean, in terms of working together, like unofficially, I mean, you know, even when we were in like the fourth grade, we just graduated high school, but yeah, I had a video camera on my, you know, iPod, and you know, I would always record us doing stupid things. You know, it was just a matter of always me being the camera guy and him just going around doing stuff. So I mean, I think that's always been there, that connection between us.
It would
Oh,
just be like skits and whatnot being
Yeah.
posted on YouTube.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
obviously we had the machinima stuff going, and you know, I think it's just always gone hand in hand with our friendship, is to be creative, I guess.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Split minute, boy. I'm coming down and split your fucking head open.
What's going to work?
What is he doing?
What do you think he's doing?
Well, is he doing it by himself or is he doing it with another
Just
person?
cranking the hog?
He's finding the rainbow roll.
I'm sorry, did you say cranking the hog?
No, that's
Yeah.
not cranking the hog, bro.
That sounded like cranking the hog to me.
What, rainbow roll? What the hell are you talking
Yeah.
about? Sushi?
The rainbow roll, bro. You're 20 fucking questions. I got one. How long was principal photography for you guys? And I guess start to finish for the project. What was the whole scope in terms of?
Start to finish.
Like 4 months.
Yeah, about
maybe?
4 to 5 months, I would say. So,
Okay.
in terms of actual development and pre-production, that started around February, I want to say.
This year?
Yeah, like early February, yeah. And then filming started the exact first week of April, so like probably April 2nd, maybe. I remember that distinctly because in New York in April it's still very cold out, and so we were filming some outside scenes at that time, and you know, right after each take we were grabbing the jackets and bombarding
It was
ourselves with
bad.
blankets. Yeah, it was freezing. I mean, you know, the probably the third scene of the film, the one take monologue that my character gives with the big bush behind him, and that when I filmed that scene, I was freezing out. It was honestly a struggle not to shiver while I was filming.
Yeah. You should have saw me behind the camera. I had like 3 jackets on. It was,
Bundled up.
it was yeah, it was less than ideal. In terms of when we ended late July. However, the timeline for post-production has been stretched from when we started filming. I like to edit as I film. So, yeah, I don't like to do it all right at the end. I like to leave room for reshoots and, okay, we got to redo this. I like to stay on the ball, I guess. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good because I was gonna say end of July to what is it now? Like August. That's like a
Yeah.
quick editing
yeah,
time.
like, little
Yeah.
things
If
like
you're starting
ADR
from there,
to
but
like
Yeah.
release.
Honestly, yeah, really the only thing that led us up to release in terms of post-production and just overall the project was probably the ADR stuff. I mean, everything else was pretty much set in stone.
I just wanted to say that I really liked the hair. Those are probably
Oh my
wigs,
God.
right?
My hair is not a wig. That's my natural hair.
Oh, okay, that's your,
Oh.
Yeah.
My hair, on the other hand.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, BP's hair is a wig. My hair is not, and it's
Okay.
fine because I've actually been asked that like outside of film, like hey, can I touch your hair? It looks like soft and it looks like a wig, and it is not a wig. Yeah, that is my natural hair.
All right.
Awesome,
Do you-
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I liked both your hair and BB's hair because
Thank you.
I felt like it added a lot of character to
Yeah. Thank you.
just the characters in the film, and also like it gave like the scenes a sense of like
Mhm.
I don't know, just wildness.
Thank you.
Just yeah.
Yeah, there was a certain gothic horror. Really, again, it goes back to that Edgar Allan Poe influence, where I just kind of wanted to incorporate some wackiness and some gothic aspects to it.
Mine in particular, just it helped to make my character look dirty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Like
and
disheveled.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
It was certainly a lot of fun having to watch him put on the wig every time we shot.
I can
It was, it
imagine.
Bane
was
of my
definitely a lot of fun.
existence. That's
Yeah.
just.
Did
Hey,
it,
it kept you
did it
warm,
at
though.
least,
Kept you warm.
yeah, keep you warm? Yeah. Did it keep you warm
Did it
enough?
keep you warm, BP?
I don't think so.
Well,
It was still pretty
Fuck it
cold.
up.
Oh, jeez.
Sacrifices we make.
you said people ask you to if they can touch your hair.
Yeah.
Do you let people do that? Do you say yes to it, or
Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal to me. It's mostly like people I come across, and they're nice about it. They compliment my hair, and they just
Okay.
ask if it's real. Yeah, I take it as a compliment, I guess.
okay? Well, you heard it here.
You heard it. That's what
Watch out on the
127's
streets
for,
now.
baby. Deep cuts. I hate that shot so much. It's just, damn. His framing's really good. Like, goddamn.
Is that a real person?
I mean, in the photograph.
Might have found it.
Yeah.
reverse image search that.
Yeah. It might be his great grandma. Who knows? We'll ask. Who's that in the picture?
On the page.
It's a good picture.
Yeah.
So regarding props, I actually had a question. So that photo of the woman,
That's a good
is that a real photo or?
Oh, I have a question for you. What would you rate her out of 10?
Oh man.
Oh, we're on the spot now.
What,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Out of 10 for what?
Scroll back to the video. Scroll back to the video.
No, to answer your question though, that's my real life great grandmother. So that photo was
Okay.
taken in the early 1900s, and I've always kind of found it a little bit eerie, in all honesty. I mean, also more so, my parents have had that hanging up in my kitchen for some reason for many years. So every time I walk in the kitchen and I looked at that, I was always just a little bit, a little creeped out, I guess. Yeah, it's like, yeah. But nonetheless, I thought it was very authentic, and it was just kind of right there. Why not use it? I thought it worked nicely.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
talking
Yeah,
about
well, I
that.
mean, I guess in that case, if that's your great grandma, she's very beautiful. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out when we were watching, like, did they just print that out? Did they find that at the thrift store? Is that a picture that was in the house? Like, that's a question. They were like trying to figure it out. I'm like, I'm just gonna write that shit down. We're gonna ask. Like,
That's a good
we're gonna
observation.
find out.
Thank you for the question.
Were you ready, Jeff? I'm scratching through here. So, or Anakin, whoever. You guys got the floor.
I think I got all of mine.
You got all yours? Yule? Did you get all yours?
I got one, and I think I might be able to massage.
Actually, I have one more.
All right.
Like
Well,
that.
you
Shut up.
massage yourself, Yule, and Anakin answer his question. All right.
Massage yourself?
You said massage. I don't know what you said. Make sure it's off screen, all right? This is a kid's show.
What exactly are you
It's a kids show.
watching
We're a
to?
kids
Yeah.
channel now, Jeff. The fuck was that? I don't know if mine is so much a closing question. I hope it doesn't come across that way. But what did you guys take from this experience for you guys' next projects? Both good, bad, and I guess even the ugly. I'm assuming that from here on it'll be just live action, or maybe you'll step back into the machinima world. But I'm imagining you guys learned a lot. I'm curious what you guys took away, basically.
BP, you can take that one first.
I mean, really just getting comfortable in front of the camera. I feel like I've never been very keen on standing in front of it, and I feel like now I have some comfortability. Jesus.
No, you got it.
Yeah. I feel like now I'm more comfortable with it, and I can take it on to the next one and improve.
Oh, yeah.
I think. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just want to say that's really impressive because this feels like a hard movie to do for your first one if you're not used to just being in front of the camera.
Yeah,
There's so many
yeah,
shots
yeah.
where you guys are just alone. So, but sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead, Sid. Sorry about that.
No worries. I think in terms of what I took away and what I could apply to the future, I would say, I don't know, just kind of enjoy the moment, you know? I mean, as cliche and as kind of bland as that answer may be, as it doesn't relate to any technical aspect, I would say just kind of enjoy it, you know? I mean, it's hard to be creating something and you know, creating and stressing about what the result is going to be, you know? I think really for any creative individual, just create and get it out there, you know? I think in terms of me, I would have to probably take my own advice a little better. I stress a lot about, you know, if something's going to pan out, just for really any creative, you know, output of mine. So yeah, for me, or for any creative out there, just kind of enjoy the moment, you know? You don't know how it's going to turn out. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember like even for my like shitty videos on YouTube, I would like stress about everything. I'd reshoot
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 times, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, this shot's not good enough. Gotta go back. And
I
like, that's
gotcha.
affecting this. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a really good point that you
Yeah,
bring.
he's
Thank you.
he's still stressing out about some videos he's supposed to put out on our channel.
Shut up, Jeff.
Shit's
I gotta learn
like
from
6
this
months
moment.
overdue.
The voices become louder.
That's a good shot.
Crows
Mhm.
become angry.
Is that at night or at day? I love that.
Looks like night.
Yeah, with the lighting.
Right?
I think I'm scared to die.
Yeah.
More or less
That's a good one.
who will bury
I like that. That gets me hard.
Okay. All right.
Let them know that.
Yeah, you let him know that, Jeff.
I was gonna say, like, well, since you guys are going to live action, I mean, fuck, you guys did a great job on the first try.
Thank you.
Like-
I appreciate that.
Like, we were constantly commenting on the cinematography and the shots
thank
and
you.
just the
Yeah.
unsettlingness of it. I was just like, I loved a lot of those shots.
Thank
The
you.
one
I
where
appreciate that.
he's standing in the graveyard or something, and there's like the bushes coming up on each side, and we were trying to figure out whether it was daytime or nighttime because it was just like the way that the shot. I was just like, that
Thank
shot.
you.
That's a good
I
one.
appreciate you. Thank you.
That's the money shot right there.
That means a
Oh,
lot.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there were lots of shots like that were just
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, this looks good. Like, so I guess my question before the other question that'll lead
Okay.
us out is, are you guys like going to school for any of this? Like, Sid, are you going to school for cinematography or filmmaking or anything?
I'm currently not. Me and him just graduated this past June. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I actually had gotten accepted to a few different film schools in New York City. School of Visual Arts and
Okay.
Sarah Lawrence, which I really would love to go to. A lot of prominent filmmakers went there.
Sure.
I think before that, I'm definitely going to take a gap year or two and maybe just kind of develop my own taste in cinema, just kind of develop my own projects. You know, it was really cool being able to have the opportunity to go to those schools as I did get accepted. So, yeah, maybe that's something down the line. But I think for now, just kind of independently building up a brand is what I have interest in.
Well, I mean, you could have fooled me. You could have told me, hey, I graduated with honors of this. And I was like, yeah,
No.
hey, fuck, hey, it shows.
I'm still 17. Thank you.
Yeah, hey, it looks good. Like, honestly,
you.
you should see the shit that I put out at 17.
No,
Not good.
it's all good.
What about
And-
you, BP?
In terms of college,
Yeah,
like,
just
are
like
you
I guess
gonna-
plans for the future.
yeah, not at the moment though. Just focusing on my craft.
Oh,
Nice.
very valid. Good notes there.
Yeah, I gotta cross things out. I gotta massage the list. Right
Shut up, Jeff.
now. Are you done? Are you done with yours? By the way, Yule.
Yeah,
You
that was
done?
it. That was my last question.
It's oiled
Swear
up.
to God, if you say, fuck you.
It's ready to. It's on the treadmill now. Okay,
I
cool.
hate you.
Um,
It's on the treadmill. What the fuck are you talking about?
so you guys mentioned earlier that there's another film in the works.
There
live
is.
action.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yes.
crime related. And,
It is very crime related. I'm
back to our
very,
roots.
very excited. Yes, absolutely.
I had the question number 18 on my list.
Yeah.
Was
Jesus
what's
Christ.
next? And shut the fuck up, Yule. And so, so is there anything you could tell us about this upcoming project that you got?
I think it's very very neo-noir-esque, and there's a certain punk aesthetic to it, I would say. Really, I would say it's a big collaborative process of really all of my creative endeavors regarding machinima and, Headstone, really just everything in terms of aesthetic and what I've learned and what I'm going to take into this process. I'm very, very excited to get to work on it. I'm assembling a very good cast, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it. I would definitely love to come back on here for it.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
we're always going to be happy to have you.
Thank
You're
you.
the first person to ask us to review something, and
Yeah.
you're always have a
Thank
place
you.
here.
I appreciate it. It's always lovely chatting with you guys. Something to plug real quick. The film is available on Letterboxd, so if any Letterboxd users out there, if you guys are Letterboxd users, I'll send the link over. You guys can go rate the film.
Well, there
Awesome.
you
On
go.
I gotta-
IMDb too.
Got a letterbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You can write a review, and that's cool. Well, I guess that's it for us here. Thanks. If you sat through all this, you better have. Or like I said, we'll fucking hunt you down and gut you like a fish.
Grab the knife again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. It's there. I got one. And so like and subscribe. Hit the comment section down below. Share this video with other people who like independent film, who like seeing the future of cinema, and hit the bell notification so you get notified when we talk about more videos. There's links in the description below to these other channels, as well as the film we talked about, Headstone of Solitude. I got it. There you go.
There you go.
Nailed it, Jeff.
As well as some other fun links. I'm bad with names, okay? I don't have it written down.
It's okay.
I got 22 questions now written down, okay? So
Whose fault is that?
whose fault?
Motherfucker.
It's-
Yeah.
I wrote them down. I don't know. I came prepared. You're over here massaging
Yeah.
yourself or something. Shut the fuck up. I mean that's it. Yeah. There you go.
Alrighty. That was lovely, guys. Thank you for having
Yeah.
me. It was
Yeah.
great
Great.
chatting with you guys. Alrighty, guys. You have a great night, guys.
You too.
Thanks for having
Thanks,
us again.
you
Awesome.
guys.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
so
for
much.
coming on.
Yep.
Thanks for coming. Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
Laters.
Imagine becoming an expendable and then going homeless.
Shut up, Jeff.
What?
I can't believe you held on to that this entire time.
I'm so lost.